Hi guys, I'm Sally with OwlCrate Jr. and I'm here today with a springtime middle grade book haul. I have two giant stacks of books that came out in March and April, and I'm here to show you what to look for in the bookstore or your library. First up, we have The Simple Art of Flying by Cory Leonardo. If you did not get our March OwlCrate Jr. box, this was our book of the month, but I highly recommend you go and seek it out yourself if you did not get the box. This is a fantastic animal story from three different perspectives, but our main character is Alistair, the African grey parrot. He is just a grumpy guy who is not happy with his life. He was born into a pet store and all he wants to do is escape to a tropical location with his sister Aggie. It's heartwarming, it's funny, it has bits of poetry and classic writing in it. It's just fantastic. I can't recommend this one enough. Next up we have Over the Moon by Natalie Lloyd. Natalie Lloyd is the author of A Snicker of Magic and she's just wonderful, so I'm very excited to see how this one is. So this is set in a town called Coal Top. It is a fantasy novel where basically the dust has come in a few years ago and sort of brought this town into a bit of a desolate situation. So the boys all work in the mines and the girls all work as servants. But our main character Mally learns that there is a competition where children are learn to train flying horses, and decides that this is going to be her way out of a bad situation. I really love Natalie Lloyd, so I think this one sounds great. This one came out on March 26th. Next up we have Tree of Dreams by Resau. This is about a girl whose family owns a chocolate shop. And she just loves cooking, she loves chocolate, she loves baking, she loves just creating sweet, delicious things. But the store is struggling and she starts to have dreams about this magic chocolate tree and actually gets the opportunity to go to the Amazon where the cocoa is grown. And she thinks that perhaps this is what this magic tree is going to save her family's chocolate shop. But when she gets there, there is ecological damage. There's places are getting just flattened in the Amazon jungle, and this tree that could be the savior of the store is suddenly in peril. I'm getting real like Fern Gully vibes from this, kind of mixed with, you know, Love Sugar Magic. It sounds really interesting. It's been getting great reviews and I suggest you check it out. This one comes out on March 26th. Next up we have Friendroid by M.M. Vaughan. So this is about two boys named Danny and Eric who are best friends, do everything together. But it turns out that Danny is a kid, but Eric is a robot and he doesn't know that. I think they find this out together and then go on a bit of a quest to figure out, you know, who put him there, who made him, what is his purpose. It sounds really interesting. It's described as having the nerdy sweetness of Stranger Things and the thrill of a classic sci-fi story of an unlikely friendship between two boys, one human and one android. Sounds awesome. I love a good friendship story and a sci-fi twist. Sounds great. This one comes out on March 26th. Next up is one I'm really excited about because I think that this is going to be a very important book for a lot of kids out there, and that is Focused by Alyson Gerber. It's about a girl named Clea who is really struggling in school. She can't focus on anything. She knows she has to be doing her homework. She's trying to do her homework, but she's just constantly getting distracted. Throughout the course of the book, she learns that she has ADHD. The reviews for this one have been so stellar. Apparently it is just a really incredibly empathetic look at what it means to live with ADHD, and that like a lot of people have it. It sounds like a great contemporary story that is going to be applicable to a lot of people's lives, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. This one came out on March 26th. Next is one for a bit of a younger set, or an earlier reader, and that is Bots, the Most Annoying Robots in the Universe by Russ Boltz, illustrated by Jay Cooper. This is recommended for like ages 5 to 9, so kindergarten to grade 4-ish. But it's just like a very silly graphic novel all about annoying robots. I'm sure it is full of just incredibly silly jokes, and sometimes that's really what you need to get a kid reading. This one came out in March. Next up we have Far Away by Lisa Graff. This is about a little girl whose aunt is a medium and she travels around like town fairs reading people's fortunes and passing on messages from people who have passed on. her aunt is the only way that CJ is able to speak to her mother, who died basically in childbirth. But then there's an event in the book, and for whatever reason, she's no longer able to speak through her aunt to her mom, and this kicks off a road trip with a friend of hers to track down, you know, an item that she thinks will be the missing piece to connect her back again. Sounds like it will be quite sad, but really lovely. Lisa Graff is a wonderful middle grade author. Yeah, if you like a sort of spiritual story, magical twist about family and love, this one sounds like a great choice. This one came out in March. Next up we have Tangled in Time, The Portal by Kathryn Lasky. This one sounds incredible. It is a time travel fantasy. Our main character is Rose. She goes to live with her grandmother after her mom passes away in a car crash. She's starting at a brand new school where that's, you know, full of mean girls, and she's just having a terrible time. But one day she sees a strange light in her grandmother's greenhouse and goes to investigate, and actually goes back in time 500 years to Hatfield Palace, and becomes the servant of Princess Elizabeth, who is the daughter of King Henry VIII. I love a time travel book. I love a historical fiction novel. This sounds wonderful. This one came out on March 19th. Next up we have Because of the Rabbit by Cynthia Lloyd. This story starts on the last night of summer vacation. Our main character Emma and her father find a tiny baby bunny and rescue it. And Emma thinks that this bunny is a good sign and will sort of be a good omen for the school year to start, which is very important because she has been homeschooled her whole life and is just starting public school. But 5th grade gets off to a rocky start, and she is paired with a boy for a project that he has behavioral issues, and, you know, she's not getting the work done that she wants to. But this bunny becomes this unifying thing, and the theme of rescuing people and rescuing things and friendship, it all ties together because of the rabbit. This one came out on March 26th. Next up, we have The Door at the End of the World by Carlson. Carlson wrote The World's Greatest Detective, which was one of our first ever OwlCrate Junior book picks. So I love when OwlCrate Junior authors have more books coming out. Our main character in this book is Lucy, and she is the gatekeeper's deputy. This is the gate between two worlds. But on an otherwise ordinary day, she discovers that her boss has gone missing, and the gate between her world and the one right next to theirs is broken. So chaos ensues. It turns out that there is not just one world that she needs to be guarding. There's another 8 that need rescuing. And there's all sorts of sinister things at play. It sounds fantastic. I love a good otherworldly story. This one came out on April 9th. Next up, we have August Isle by Alice Standish. This sounds like a really lovely summertime story. So this is about our main character Miranda, who has grown up looking at photos and postcards of August Isle, this like mythical place that her mother spent all of her summers, and she's just always wanted to go to this beautiful, beautiful place. And then because of a family event, she has the opportunity to go. She's going to go stay with her mother's good friend there. But unfortunately, it is a sad summer. Nothing is working out quite as planned, despite the fact that she's in this beautiful paradise. But this beautiful paradise might have more to it, some darker undertones to it. There's a haunted lighthouse, there's mysterious things happening, and Miranda has to investigate them. I love a good like seaside town summertime story, and this sounds like it really fits the bill. This one came out on April 16th. Next is another great summertime one, and that is Summer of a Thousand Pies by Margaret Dilloway. This one has been described as perfect for fans of The Thing About Jellyfish and Fish in a Tree. Our main character is 12-year-old Katie. She has grown up with her dad, homeless in San Diego. But at 12 years old, she is sent to live with her aunt that she's never met before. All that she knows about her is that she owns a pie shop. So bit by bit, she starts to feel more comfortable in this new surrounding and this new home that she's never really had before. And then it finds out that the pie shop is actually failing. So she and her aunt have to band together and with the help of the community, save this pie shop. love any story surrounding food. This sounds fantastic. I love pie, and this sounds like a great story. This one came out on April 16th. Next, we have a graphic novel from Jason Platt, Middle School Misadventures. This is all about a kid who enters the talent show at his middle school, but really has no talent whatsoever, or so he thinks. Perhaps he finds a talent throughout this. It sounds super funny. I really like the illustrations. They're very like Calvin and Hobbes-esque, which I'm a massive fan of. Yeah, just a great contemporary middle grade story for you. This one came out in April. Next up, we have Maybe a Mermaid by Josephine Cameron. This is another summertime, new location, kind of fresh start sort of story. She has spent most of her life bouncing from place to place with her mom, who sells a Beauty and the Bee cosmetic products door to door. But this summer, she gets to spend the whole summer at Thunder Lake, and she's decided she's going to make a checklist of, you know, every way to make this the perfect summer, and she will not stray from this list. So she gets to this place and is determined to make friends and determined to make this the perfect summer, but learns of this rumor of the Boule mermaid in this little town. So investigating these rumors means straying from her list, but maybe it's worth it because maybe there's a mermaid at the end of it all. This one came out on April 2nd. Next up is The Infinite Lives of Maisie Day by Christopher Edge. Sounds like a very cool sci-fi story. Our main character, Maisie, wakes up on her 10th birthday. She is a science lover. All she wants for her birthday is the materials to build her own nuclear reactor. She wakes up on her birthday and her house is empty. She goes outside the door. It's just infinite blackness. Obviously, she has to figure out what has happened and what sort of scientific, methodical things she will have to do to solve the end of the world, basically. What I love about this is that it includes the science of behind the scenes. So I assume that it is quite scientifically accurate, which I love. This one comes out on April 9th. And finally, we have Twinchantment by Elise Allen. This is not the final cover. I highly recommend you go check it out because the final cover is really great. But this is about two princesses named Flissa and Sarah. They live in the magical kingdom of Kaloon, but before they were born, magic was outlawed. And along with magic, twins and black cats and anything else magical was strictly outlawed. So they have lived their entire life pretending that they are one person. The rest of the kingdom does not know that there are two princesses. But the first magical attack since all of the magic in the kingdom has been outlawed takes place, and their mom is in danger, and so it's up to them to save the day. It sounds so great, and you can pick it up now. It came out on April 9th. So that is it for my springtime book haul. You can go to your bookstore or library and pick all of these up right now. They are all available. If you give any of them a read, or if there's any that I missed that have just come out, please leave them in the comments below. I always love to hear from you. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more bookish videos every week. Happy reading, and thanks for being awesome.